Yo, what is good? We are back. The Redshirt Podcast is back. This is episode 2. I am your host, your man DG. Find me at underscore keep it prolific on Twitter. I got my co-host here with me tonight, my boy Trey. You can
Yes, sir.
find him at that way 816 on Twitter as well too. Back for another episode, man. It's been a lot of stuff going on in the college football landscape. I know some of it's been a little bit quiet, but there
Mhm.
have been some changes and some news that has come out. So we're here to talk about it tonight. First of all, man, how you feeling? How you doing as far as your week's been going or whatever?
Hey man, it's been a whirlwind, and we all know this that it's just in all sports and all football sports. It's a slow start unless you're the NFL. But
Yeah.
we picking up. We picking up. We getting all these kids coming in, ready to go
Mhm.
for the summer, ready for the fall. So hey, it's gonna be
Yeah,
fun.
we kind of at that little bit of a, or you're getting a little news, but a little dead area as well too. A lot of teams kind of going quiet at this point in time. So
Yeah,
we're
yeah,
we're in the dog days of summer, just trying to figure everything out at this point. But college football hopefully will be here soon. It's always right. That's what always kind of gets me ready for the NFL season because they
yeah.
always end up playing at like the last week of August, and it kind of rolls into the end of training camp and the beginning of preseason. So it kind of carries me through until preseason is kind of over, and then we get, of course, NFL, the big dogs end up taking over at that point. So, but
Yeah.
but yeah, man. Recently the new times were dropped for week 1 of the college football season. Our local teams, K State, Kansas, Missouri, they all received their time slots for when they'll be playing. K State is actually playing in the one of the marquee games as far as them going over to Ireland to play Iowa State in a what I feel like would be a very good matchup of potentially some teams that could surprise some people in the Big 12 as well. But that game is scheduled for 11 a.m. Saturday, August 23rd, uh, over in Ireland. Usually, I think that game last year was, who was it? It was Georgia Tech.
It was Georgia Tech, Florida State.
Yeah, Georgia Tech, Florida State. So now this year you get two Big 12 schools over there to play in this game. To me, it should be a pretty decent game in my opinion. Iowa State, both Iowa State and K State were both really two competitive teams in the Big 12 last year. What's your thoughts and feelings and heading into this to see this matchup? Is this a matchup you'll be watching at this point?
I mean, yeah. The thing about it is this is definitely a matchup that a lot of fans want to see. Uh, People from the outside, they probably not think that the Big 12 is all that competitive, but I can say the exact opposite. You have two of the one of the tougher teams in the Big 12. One of those teams that, I mean, Kansas State, we've known because we've been in the Big 12 for so long. What's going on, Monet?
What's going
Uh,
on?
but we know that in the Big 12 that Iowa State and Kansas State have been one of those teams that if you really want to show that you're one of the premier teams, you're gonna have to beat them.
Yeah.
Uh Kansas State, we all know about Avery Johnson. The kid, he's even though he's still young, he's showing flashes of he can be one of the better Big 12 quarterbacks. Iowa State, they're always continuously producing talent. They're always going to continue to try and get through and
Mhm.
be a dark horse in the Big 12. So I mean, these are two of the good teams in the Big 12. So I'm excited for the matchup.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what Avery Johnson is able to bring this year. I kind of have him as a kind of a dark horse candidate for the Heisman
Same here.
trophy at this point. I think he's going to end up being one of the better quarterbacks in the nation up until this point. Also, though, a lot of turnover for Iowa State as well. They lost a lot of guys to the NFL
Yeah.
draft, especially on that offensive side of the ball, and two prolific receivers in both in Higgins and Noel. as well, going off to the NFL. So excited to see where they go from this point, how they are able to adapt to that and change some things. But in college football, is one player goes out and the next player ends up coming in, and it's like they almost don't miss a beat. So
Yeah.
I expect that to be a really really good game, really great atmosphere over there in Ireland. I know this is something that college football has done the last couple years, sending some teams over there to kind of spread the game internationally, and give the fans a little bit of excitement over there. Fresno State and Kansas also are playing later on that night at 5:30. That is Kansas's first game, and I believe is that going to be at the newly almost renovated stadium for them.
I think
I don't think
so.
they're fully done yet, but
It's not.
I think that they'll be still playing some games over there. I know that they had to switch some games last year to Arrowhead. I don't know if they'll be playing any of their games this year at Arrowhead this year, but I think they're almost done with those renovations over there. But we shall see. But really exciting season ahead of Kansas as well, too. A lot of turnover for them though as well too. A lot of change out there. Lost some guys to the NFL as well. Kobe Bryant is no longer there. Melo Dotson is finally gone, so that secondary will be highly different up until this point. So, what's your thoughts and feelings on the Kansas Jayhawks going into this year?
I say this now. I like ignore the logo right here. Uh, but here is the thing. As somebody who does talk to Kansas fans on the daily, it wasn't the most riveting thing to hear that Jalen Daniels. We're not talking about the superstar that resides in the Washington Commanders. We're talking about Jalen Daniels, which some people call him JD6. It wasn't that exciting to them to hear that he was coming back for another year. Just they were just that excited into their backup quarterback, which I believe was a 4-star, one of their biggest recruits ever.
Mm-hmm.
They were more excited to see him than when they are able to see Jalen, because the thing about it is, no doubt, is that when he's healthy, he can play. But we've seen over the last couple of years that back injury has been
Yeah,
it's been horrible.
right.
There's a lot of turnover because of the fact that they lost Devin Neal, like what you said. They lost Melo and Kobe. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
they lost a lot of people to graduation. I mean, this is gonna be one of those turnovers. Is like, if it's either can go really good or it can go really bad.
Yeah,
Like, it's just how it is. Devin Neal was at Kansas for all 4 years,
right,
so
right, right.
it's going to be hard for someone to come in. So there's a lot of question marks there. Some people might say, hey, they're still going to keep on rolling. Uh,
Yeah,
Me, I'm more on the end side, because they could come up and they could play Fresno and play god awful, and a lot of pushover could be happening over there.
yeah. Yeah, Lennox Lipo has definitely come in and been able to instill a little bit more confidence into that program than previously known. But um, still, it's a lot of question marks for Kansas Jayhawks. I know a lot of their fans are still excited headed into this season. But as always, the turnover is kind of sometimes hard to overcome. So I'll be definitely intrigued to see how they head into this week one game against Fresno State. I fully expect them to beat Fresno State, but at the same time, I know that there's some question marks for their roster up until this point, especially with the amount of turnover that they had from the NFL. But if you got guys going to the NFL, that means you're obviously doing something correct, until now. So we'll see how it goes for the Jayhawks, man.
Yeah.
Exciting season, exciting times for them, but
Yeah.
gotta wait and see.
This
We'll
is that.
move on. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
I was just gonna say, this is that time. Look, Kansas fans, this is that time. If you're really trying to show that you're a premier program in the Big 12,
Mhm.
you gotta be able to withstand turnaround. If you
Yeah,
can't withstand turnaround, Nobody's going to give you that opportunity to being one of the premier teams of the Big 12.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I seen a video a little while back of some of the renovations that they had done and been finished with or whatever. They were showing some of the players, so they seem really excited. I think that stadium is on end up looking really really nice
Yeah, it
here
is.
in the next couple of years. So excited for them for that part. Hopefully, get an opportunity, a chance to go out there and see what it's looking like in real time, real life. So, talking and such, we'll move on to what I feel is probably going to be the marquee matchup. And I hate to toot my own horn, but the Texas Longhorns and the Ohio State Buckeyes will be
Big.
taking on each other in the what I feel like is probably the marquee matchup of Week 1. A lot of eyes will be definitely, I think, on this game. 11 a.m. kickoff for no noon Eastern for a lot of people, but Texas and Ohio State play each other in the shoe up there in Ohio State. There were some talks going around that Ohio State was trying to get this game moved to a night game, which some Texas fans had an issue with. Some Ohio State fans had an issue with as well too, because that's obviously the atmosphere is a little bit different up there at night than it is during the day. I personally don't care when the game is played. I think that Texas has a lot of business to handle. It's got a little bit of revenge that they might want to act on at this point. So but this is going to be a great matchup, man. Two schools that I fully probably expect to still be in contention for the college football playoffs at the end of the year. But a lot of turnover for Ohio State, a lot of change as well for the Texas Longhorns. What's your thoughts and feelings on this matchup? And are you going to be front row watching it?
Oh, I'm definitely gonna be front row. Anytime you got two of the premier programs going head to head, of course, who doesn't want to be it? I feel like I'm like Buddy Marcel. This is arguably already the game of the year. Why
Right.
not? So, but there's a lot of questions to prove. Number one, Ohio State, Jeremiah Smith, he had one of the best. He showed that he was the best wide receiver in college football.
True.
And I mean, question is, how you gonna combat a stellar season with another stellar one? You already set the bar. He's gonna be there. Is gonna be there. I think it's Julian Sand season. Bama fans were trying to say that years ago before Saban left.
Mm-hmm.
Now Ohio State gets to say it's Julian Sand season.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be a good team for both sides. I think that it's going to be like you got Julian Sand on one side, you got Arch Manning on the other.
Mm-hmm.
You got Jeremiah Smith, and then on the other side you got Ryan Wingo. It's going to be a very exciting game.
Yeah.
If you want to take in my fandom, I hate Ohio State. My dad hates Ohio State. So I'm probably going to be rocking with Texas because that's just, I can't, y'all don't know how much it hurt me to watch Ohio State win a national championship. I was rooting for every team to beat them. So why not have the Longhorns with the prodigy of Peyton and Eli and everybody to come in straight into the shoe and beat the Ohio State Buckeyes?
Yeah.
That's the story.
Right. Yeah, heading into this game, man, obviously, a lot of turnover still too for Ohio State as well, but still got a lot of talented guys over there. Jeremiah Smith is clearly to me one of the best players in college football, might be the best player in college football to this point. So we'll see how his development goes for the future. But obviously still got a lot of guys. Carnell Tate as well could be an issue for them or for us on the Texas side of things. But I fully expect the Longhorns to be prepared and ready for this game. I think this is something that they've been kind of getting ready for all summer long. We've obviously seen Steve Sarkisian and his
Yeah.
staff kind of take the approach of not doing some of the off season antics that a lot of other schools take. We didn't have a spring game this year. We didn't. They didn't participate in the college football 26 photo shoot or anything like that. So it's obviously very serious times in Austin, Texas at this point. That's what I took it for. But definitely expect this to be a coming of age and coming out party for the Wonder Kid Arch Manny. This is prime time, big situation for him, big spot to put him in for his first, I think, really collegiate start in my opinion. I know he started a couple games last year, but for him to this is your time. This is it. It's your team. This is your chance and opportunity to prove to the world that you deserve to be on this stage. You deserve to be in these types of games, playing for these kind of significant factors and everything like that. So definitely excited. I actually wouldn't have mind if it was a night game. In my opinion, I kind of wanted that. The last time we beat them in the shoe, it was Vince Young under the lights. I was all kind of for it, but I understand if the game was already scheduled for 11 a.m. on Fox, then Fox was never gonna move off of being having the big noon game.
Yeah.
In my opinion, but I love the night games. I love when this is the atmosphere that they can be able to create for these college campuses and things of that nature. But obviously scheduling gets in the way of that. So hopefully in the near future, college football will be able to change things of that nature and get it to the point where those games can kind of be underneath the lights. A couple other marquee games that week also. Saturday night, actually, that night's LSU and Clemson actually duke it out as well too, which I think will be a highly anticipated matchup on ABC. Two teams that I still expect to be competing for the college football playoffs as well. So we'll see how that game goes. Another key matchup um, that week, a Sunday, you get Notre Dame and Miami at 6:30 on ABC, and also TCU and North Carolina. Bill Belichick's
First,
coaching debut Monday night, Labor Day night, is one that's probably pretty highly anticipated right now. A lot of controversy behind the one coach of the great coach of Bill Belichick. There's a lot of things going on at that North Carolina campus. So we'll see how that goes. What are your thoughts on Bill Belichick going to college?
look, man. Look, I love the fact that Bill is like, look, if I can't do it in the NFL, let me try and show love to the college. But man, bringing the girlfriend in, dog, it happens. I get it. She trying
Right.
to excited. Everybody's excited. I think that North Carolina is going to show. I'm not going to say that. Oh my God, this is going to be an ACC contender, but they're going to be a lot better than what Mac. No disrespect to Mac Brown, but I think that they're going to be better than what Mac Brown did.
Right.
Dog, come on, man. Like we gotta. And congratulations to the two because I heard they got engaged. I don't know if that's true, but
Oh man.
you gotta some people gotta understand you gotta mix the personal. You can't mix the personal and the business.
Yeah.
It ends up not working out too well. But I mean, I'm not gonna. I think that they're gonna be just fine. It's just this is a wild conundrum because that and then some of their better players went to the portal and went elsewhere. I'm like, bro, this is a whirlwind. But
Right.
it is what it is. It's gonna be a new turnaround. Dude, North Carolina is gonna be funny because my dad, he's from the North Carolina area. He's from about the Charlotte area, so
Mhm.
he shows a little love to the Tar Heel. He shows love to the Tar Heels basketball and football. And when I told him, I said, "Hey, Bill Belichick's gonna be the new head coach." He looks at me and goes, are you being for real? I goes, yeah. And he was like,
Yeah.
he not a big supporter of it.
Yeah, it was a little strange to me to see, such a great. I feel like it's arguably one of the best head coach of all time to me, in my opinion. To see him transfer to the college game, it's a little weird. Felt a little a reverse of what happened with Saban when he tried to go to the NFL and then just realized like the NFL is not for him at all. And then flip back to college football. So this. I kind of tend to think that this may be a Saban situation where if it doesn't go well, we may see Bill Belichick head straight back to the pro game because right now everything that's been kind of going on behind the scenes seems a little eerie. I don't like speaking on people's relationships or anything like that, but this feels a little weird.
We happy you happy, bro. But I'm
Yeah.
them recruiting photos are like a recruit there, and you got him just in it. Look,
Yeah, a little strange. So we'll see how it goes. Hopefully, he's able to have great success there. But my expectations are kind of all over the place because I really don't know what to expect from that situation because it's been very, very, very weird off the field for sure. So, but
we'll be on the Tar Heels though.
Right. We'll move on. Our next topic we'll be speaking about actually bring this up now. So there have been some updates to the college football playoff situation. Recently the committee has come out and expressed that they will no longer be seeding the college football playoffs in the same way that they did last year. Last year, I think the four conference champions ended up getting the top four seeds, which you had, what was it? Georgia.
Yeah,
Um,
Georgia. You had Texas.
no,
Wait, you talking about top four in the playoff?
yeah, top four in the playoffs. I think it was.
Big Ten champion was Oregon.
Mm-hmm.
Big 12 champion was Arizona State.
Yep, and then Boise State as well got a bye for winning their conference title,
And then
and in Georgia. So they have recently changed that now. Now it is going to be where you don't necessarily have to win your conference championship. So it will now be the top four teams who finish in the rankings. The top four ranked teams will end up getting the bye at this point. There was a lot of back and forth about this. Some people were all for this, and some people were highly against this. A lot of people made clamors that it's not worth it to play in the conference championship game. Then the conference championship game becomes less significant up until this point. So, what are your thoughts and feelings as far as how they've changed and turned this around?
I think what this just did was they were. I think this is them showing that the whole G5 thing may not be a good idea of him being a top four team, because there's no way that you're going to sit over here and be like, I get it if you want to say, oh, the Oregon-Ohio State game was not exactly what you wanted, but these were still two of the top teams in college football.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't think they had any pushback when it came to Georgia, because I think the thing about it is when you have Carson Beck out there and you have Gunnar Stockton playing in replacement of him, it's different. I think the only pushback that they might have had is the fact that we saw a completely different Boise State team when they played a Power 5 school, and that made them say, because we didn't see the same Ashton Jenny of getting 100 carries. He got literally neutralized, taken out of the game. That didn't really work out. Arizona State, they didn't really come. I mean, they tried their best, but that you could clearly see that there was a difference in talent. So maybe it was just like it was college football basically saying, okay, we're instead of just going seed by seed by seed, we just gotta have if you're one of the if you're one of the top teams, you're gonna get in. But I think that this is them saying from without saying it is we're not messing with the G5s being a top 4 seed anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, I so when I first seen this, I said, yeah, this is you can blame Boise State for this.
Yeah, this is
their fault. I think it clearly showed last year, them winning what I said, them winning their conference championship. I think they had a great year. I think they played very well, but it was clear and concise that they were not one of the top 4 teams in the nation last year. When they took on Penn State, you saw that it was not enough. It wasn't the same.
I think he had 10 carries for 30-something yards.
It was bad. It was bad. And then, yeah, it just clearly goes to show you, no disrespect to the teams in the Mountain West or anything like that, but that caliber of ball isn't, at the same level of a Big Ten schedule. Yeah. So I really think that the committee had to go back and really look over this again and just, come to grips with themselves that, the top 4 ranked teams, whoever finishes in the top 4 is clearly going to be the best teams in the nation, and they deserve the bye. I know a lot of people love the conference championship games or whatever. Conference championship weekend is something I look forward to as well too. But to me, it just do we really have to play those games? Is it really necessary to play that game? At this point, can we just go ahead and I'm kind of at the point can we just name a conference champion, kind of move on from it? I know previously it kind of created some controversy, especially early with the playoffs, because once you had the 4 teams or whatever, the SEC championship, they could also probably be a extra playoff game that you could add to the schedule. But now it's just it's kind of, to me, kind of irrelevant.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no point of looking at it in that light anymore, just because, you can obviously get to a top 4 seed without having to win, that game. So now it makes me feel like, do you get into a situation where if you're one of those top 4 teams and say you're playing that weekend, do you play your starters? Do you say, if you already know, hey, we're going to be a top 4 team with a bye, right?
Yeah.
Now, does that create a situation of where the conference title games, we don't see certain players in the conference championship games?
Especially the ones dealing with injury, I think that's definitely gonna be something we do. I thought that we would see that I thought that we would see that from Georgia, knowing the fact that hey, we're already in there.
Yeah.
And so you should have rested Carson Beck instead of throwing him out there, because we saw how Georgia is without Carson Beck, and it was still I think that it really changes a lot. It's unfortunately the fans, they're not gonna like it because the conference championship isn't gonna be we gotta play hard so we can get in. It's just now it's we're not gonna really put all that much emphasis into it.
Yeah.
I think especially with the whole thing about it as well is this is the whole thing. We gotta understand first round was really though viewership was there, Indiana got smacked up by Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Tennessee got smacked up by Ohio State.
Yeah.
We saw a lot of blood.
Yeah. Clemson got dog walked.
Clemson got dog walked. Yeah.
I think what was the other game too?
It was bad.
That was a blowout too. Yeah, first round last year was it was bad. It was blowout central for the most part. But yeah, I think this will ultimately, that's probably what's going to end up being the positive to all this, is that the first round actually ends up becoming a lot more competitive. I think if we were able to see Boise State last year play in the first round, we obviously would have probably got a more competitive game at that level, which obviously drives up viewership as well too. I think viewership will stay up regardless of how this thing is going to go. The committee has also stated that they will be moving to expansion after this year. I think the 12 team playoff. This will be the last year of the 12 team playoff. I think that was the other announcement that they were making. I believe they're trying to move to 14
They
or
might.
16 teams.
Yeah, I believe so. I think it's just one again. It's one of those situations of, hey, so we. This is basically for them to say, okay, we just got a whole bunch of hack from certain fans, mainly residing in Tuscaloosa. You got a you got a group about a certain fans who believe that they should have went in. So let's try and up the viewership even more and still make everybody happy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. The
it's,
whining and complaining from the Alabama fans was yeah, very unnecessary
oh
last
my god, we should have got in. But you and this is what I'm trying to tell. I was like, yeah, you had good wins. Guess what? You blow out against
year. You
Oklahoma.
had bad losses too. Yeah. You forgot about that game at Oklahoma. That other game at Vanderbilt too
You
that you
lost to
lost.
Vanderbilt.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, anyway, that's a different topic. Fast. But no, I think that this, like I said, I think this creates decent matchups in the first round, which a lot of people I think will enjoy a little bit better. I know a lot of people will probably be a little bit pissed about how conference championship weekend will go, but I think you'll definitely probably get over it once the first round comes over and you see those more competitive matchups. We could see some really exciting upsets at that point. I think that's what that will obviously create. How do you feel about the expansion of the college football playoffs moving forward? Are you for it or are you against it?
I'm for it. It's you haven't hit that point to where it's too many. I think some people didn't like the fact of it going from 4 to 12. I'm like, hey, you want to get as much like we look at NFL playoffs. NFL playoffs they get a lot of viewership, so why not do it on the collegiate level? Get these kids ready to go for what postseason play actually looks like.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, it's not bad. I don't think that you're pushing if you go 14. Now, once you start hitting 18 and 20, okay, you got to stop.
Yeah.
Uh, but it's like 14. I think this is the sweet spot. I think this is the you're stopping right here. Because again, viewership still, even though these blowouts were blowouts,
Mm-hmm.
uh, you still had people who were turning in. You had people who at least had them in their background, and they would look occasionally and see what's going on. But I mean, it's not too bad. And then plus you're opening the margin of error for maybe one of these teams to really get in. Maybe you're seeing a team like South Carolina start really making a case for Rick making a push because I felt like they had a chance, and so
Mm-hmm.
maybe their games. But I mean, it's definitely one of those situations of hey, if you don't feel if you feel like you should have got in there last year, this is your chance to get in there now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I'm kind of in the middle of it. I originally, when they moved from 4 teams, I thought that the highest they probably should have went was 8. In my opinion. But them moving to 12, I think last year it was intriguing. At first, I was a little bit against it at first, but then once I seen the format and how it was kind of gonna go down, I was intrigued by it. I don't think it was as bad. Like you said, that first round was a little bit rough, but after that, you could clearly tell. Once they dwindle it down, you can clearly tell these are the best teams in the nation. They should all be playing for a chance for the national title. So I think it'll obviously work. Them expanding it even more, obviously all about more dollars, more expansion, more viewership on
That
the
ain't
on
true.
these on these games. So you know, I eventually expect it to probably. I think it's probably going to end up maxing out at 16, and that's where they'll leave it for the foreseeable future.
Yeah,
I would hope that they wouldn't go any higher
please
than
don't.
that, because I think if they do, then you're creating an opportunity for a lot of games that they're going to end up going really badly,
Yeah,
especially on when when these teams switch conferences and go to play these other more dominant Power Five conferences. The level of competition is just obviously just different to a certain extent. So, um, yeah,
yeah,
we'll see how it goes, man. I'm still excited though. Still
yeah.
expect a lot of teams that were in the dance last year to make some noise and try to be at that point this year as well. So we'll see
Yeah.
how it goes. The biggest news that came out and our big topic that we wanted to talk about as I pull it up here on the screen. College football, EA college football 26 will be dropping. I believe the date is July 10th. I think is that for the standard edition?
I think it's for. I mean, usually they release deluxe first. I think they release
Yeah, the
deluxe.
deluxe I think is 3 days before the
Yeah,
standard drop.
yeah.
So, um, I think if you pre-order right now, you can get the deluxe version 3 days before the standard version is plus the drop. But a lot of exciting news coming out about this game, man. I think EA has fully heard the cries and the moans and groans from its gamers and giving, certain features, putting certain features. So we'll just get into a little bit of them. Crossplay in Dynasty mode is coming to college football. So if you have an Xbox or you have a PlayStation 5 or anything of that nature, you can now play against each other in dynasties and create leagues. It no longer matters what system you are on anymore, which I think should have been in the game last year.
They do.
I honestly tend to think I think last year's game was just a test run to see how well it was going to sell, to see
Yeah.
if it was going to be a success. I think they kind of already knew it was going to be successful. But in a sense, I think they wanted to kind of test it out, not do too much at
Mhm.
first, just to see how well received the game is going to be. 160 new school specific chants, decommitments, and an expanded transfer portal. So now you can decommit from a school. You can have decommits from a school because kids can move on you and transfer on you as well. Light
Oh,
shows are now in the game as well. There's a lot of new cool intros,
oh yeah.
stadium intros as well. I was gonna pull up I'll pull up the trailer here in
Oh
a
yeah.
little bit to show people. Um, but intensified stadium posts, which obviously is going to make the game when you play on Heisman 10 times more difficult, and all the squiggly lines from the routes and things of that nature. So, I ain't gonna lie, that's a feature I don't really like. I don't mind like the shaking of the camera and stuff, but the squiggly lines is just like, yeah, bro, do we have to have that in the game? But that's just a nitpick for
Yeah.
me. But now in the Road to Glory, they have finally brought back high school to the Road of Glory. So now you will officially start from high school and work your way on up. Also, 300 plus real coaches have been added to the game. I seen a little preview the other day. Ryan Day was in there. Notre Dame's coach, I forget his name.
Marcus Freeman. Yep.
Yeah, Marcus Freeman as well is added in there. Steve Sarkisian is in the game
Yep.
this year. A lot of new coaches added into the game. I fully expect Bill Belichick not to be in the game. He was never in Madden or anything like that. So
Never.
I fully expect him not to be on this game. But I also them adding 300 plus new coaches tells me that the coordinators also will be in this game as well too,
Yeah.
which is really exciting. I think there's like 130 something schools in the FBS, so I believe most of the coaches will be in the game, so you won't be looking at generic names anymore. I also heard that that they will have actual, not a playlist, but bands will actually be playing
Yeah.
music, and you won't have to hear drums for
This ain't Drumline.
300 hours while playing this game this year. So you'll actually get to hear some live college bands. I was more on the side of them actually adding the soundtrack
Yeah.
to the game, but beggars can't be choosers, so it is what it is. 2,700 new plays added as well. I've seen a video the other day. I don't know if you guys want a lot more information. Eric Rayweather on YouTube does very good videos.
Yeah.
He's very tapped in with EA as well too. He goes over a lot of the games and a lot of the news. He was talking about some of the playbooks were going to be really expanded this year. You're going to get a lot of new details from some schools or whatever about their playbooks and some of the nuanced plays that they like to run and things of that nature. So it should be really fun for that. And offline team builder is coming to the game as well. So those are some of the key features going into this game this year. How you feeling about the new drop of college football 26, man?
Hey man, look, there's not a time. Number one, I wanted this so bad. I needed high school back in here anyway because I needed to take. I'm here for the local teams. So hey, Ruskin, you might get a shout out. Lee
Right,
Summit might get a shout out. Winnetonka, who knows?
right.
Uh, no, but yeah, getting back to these, yes, I like it. I like the fact that number one, the coach, you're finally introducing the coaches now too,
Hmm.
because we got to see kids say, "Oh, I'm in the game." Now you seeing the coaches and be like, "Oh, okay, cool." You saying like, for instance, for me, Corey Batum, our DC, Kirby Moore, Kellen Moore's little brother, also Mizzou OC, and then Eli to be able to be like, click on and you seeing a video game version of Eli Drinkwitz is going to be a lot of fun.
Hmm.
Uh, the light show, everybody knows when you score a touchdown, the lights go off. So you got to add that in there. Um, I just love it. I've seen Bordeaux. He's on Bordeaux, I believe, is what his name is on YouTube. He does it as well. And a lot of people who said that who've played it early is, hey, this ain't nothing like last year's game. This is completely different. A lot of the
Yeah.
stuff you need, it's in there. Um, Look, man, it's a lot of fun. I like the whole decommitment. I like the whole, what I'm saying, the hat thing. You go take off the hat, move the hat. It's a lot of things that's in there. Next thing you know, we're gonna be having a recruit, or not recruiters, but you're gonna have like recruiting websites, people who do things for like on three and rivals. You never know, they might be in the next one.
Yeah.
Uh, but no, this is a breath of fresh air. I definitely agree with the whole drum line, because God, you get tired of that after like you just got your butt whooped by Alabama, and all you yeah, like this ain't drumline 3, bro. I just got my butt handed to me by Alabama, and you want me to sit over here wanting to hear a drumline? No, I'm cool.
Right.
But I love the fact that they're incorporating the fight songs going on. Now this is gonna be a lot of fun. I can't wait for it. Now, if once you put that mascot, because y'all know them mascot games where you would just play your homeboy mascot against your mascot in a full game, I need that back in there too. But I
Yeah.
love that. Love the drone show. That's something new too. I mean, the
Hmm.
drone show. That's gonna be a lot of fun. It's just cool the fact that EA is really out reaching out. They actually listen. Well, this group, they're listening to what we want and
Hmm.
they're actually implementing it.
Yeah, yeah. I was excited to see when the trailer dropped. I kind of tried to stay away from hearing the leaks in the news. From certain people on Twitter and trying to find out stuff early just so I could be a little bit more excited for when the football trailer actually dropped.
All right.
But yeah, to see it to the trailer, I think that they're putting a huge emphasis this year on gameplay for sure. As you see the way that the guys move, I honestly thought last year that the gameplay to me was a little bit better, a little bit more realistic than Madden was last year, and which I couldn't figure out how can the same company in EA make the same game and have two different gameplays on two different games. One game that they've been making for years, playing years, and the other game they've recently stopped making and then made it again. Now it was a little bit better gameplay in my opinion. But I'm excited for this year. I think that adding the additions, especially to the dynasty mode, as far as the commitments, the recruits, and what you can do. And I think that to me, that's the bread and butter for me for the game. That's what I play. I know a lot of people like the Road to Glory mode as well too. I played a little bit of that as well too last year. But when I get on there, I love the Dynasty mode. I love being able to recruit, building my roster, things of that nature. So any more features that they can add to make that better, I'm glad that they're actually taking into consideration some of the moan, like I said, the moans and cries of their friends, and actually listening to us this year. So I expect a lot better gameplay in that mode. I was really excited to see high school return to Road to Glory. I don't know why they attempted to take it out last year. I'm not sure what that was about. I know that, like I said, I think last year's game was kind of just a prototype to see how well this game was actually going to go, and see how well it was going to sell. And I think once they got kind of the numbers and seen the success of where it was going to go, then obviously they seen that they obviously had to improve upon last year and make this game a little bit better. So I can't wait, man. July 10th, I'm gonna be I'm gonna be rushing home.
I'm doing last year.
All right.
I'm be like, hey, I don't want to wait till the next day. Let me go ahead and get this right now.
Yeah. As soon as it's available to buy, I was thinking about pre-ordering. I'm not sure yet. I gotta see where my funds are gonna be at this point in time.
I'm gonna put some to the side, but yeah.
Right. But definitely July 10th, I will definitely have the game. I'm excited also as well for crossplay to come into effect in Dynasty mode. Now it gives a chance and opportunity for your friends that are Xbox gamers or your friends that are PlayStation gamers to unite in one Dynasty. And trying to chase that road to a college football championship, and and see who's the best.
Look, Xbox fans, y'all can now get stuffed in a locker too. I'm stuffing you. We also gonna still stuff you in a locker.
Yeah.
We also got to say this because, of course, we're a Kansas City-based one. Mo State.
Mm-hmm.
They FBS now. We're gonna get to see Mo State.
Mo State is in the game. It's definitely in the game.
Dan Lannon, head coach of Oregon, who happens to be a Park Hill South graduate of Kansas City. It's good to see him in the game as well. I'll show a little love to Oregon, because they got a Kansas City kid, so I mean, why not? But I mean, look, everybody, look, we might have to have a little have a little dynasty joint for Kingdom Cast. We got to see how that rolls.
Yeah, we was definitely in talks about that, about possibly having a dynasty mode, especially for our viewers and the people that watch us, and as well as us as well too. Hopefully we can get Country and CJ and all of them involved up to this point to kind of take over their own schools and become master recruiters in the game.
Look,
it's nothing better than hopping on your game system and trying to get that 5-star recruit
look,
from Texas
we
or
stuck,
from
stuck in Georgia.
Mississippi.
We going to California. I'm taking what's mine.
All
I'm,
right. But nah, I'm really excited for this game, man. I like I said, I think that to me is something that never should have went away. I know the deals and issues with the NIL now coming back into effect and players actually being able to get paid off their like and image is what's obviously affecting us and allowing us to have this back. So I'm just glad we're back at a point now where college football um, is back in the forefront of the gaming world as well. So hopefully it means that other college. I would love for a college basketball game
please.
to happen soon. Or I was a big fan of college baseball when it was on EA as well too. That'd be nice for that to come back. I know that that may be a little bit out of EA's plans at this point, but glad to see that they're putting effort and emphasis into what the fans actually want. And what we actually, I feel like we as consumers deserve.
Yeah.
We deserve a better game. So, I'm
Yeah.
glad that they're putting that to work. Last, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, send your text out now because once that day happens, ladies, y'all ain't gonna see y'all man for a little minute. Just
Yeah.
had the snacks ready. He gonna be in there stressing, trying to get not stuffed in a locker. It's a lot of fun. I always tell people this: don't just play the game just for the online version. We saw a lot of people last year. Oh my god, this game is low key already been played out, brother. You want to play so much on Ultimate Team and online and whatnot, but enjoy the offline stuff. Because me personally, I'm still on another road to glory. I decided to take on a linebacker or a D. No, I did a DB. I'm getting cooked. And I'm at UTEP. So
Right.
so it's enjoy every aspect of the game. EA is actually putting a lot of emphasis on a lot of stuff in there. It's a lot of fun. That's the thing is we're just yeah, especially if y'all sitting over here with y'all got new gen consoles and y'all want to play online. Come on, man, just do the offline stuff too. But it's gonna be a lot of yes, we can definitely. We'll help you teach. We'll teach you how to play, Jody. We'll help teach you how to play. Don't know the recruiting aspect, but we'll help you out.
Realistically, it's I mean, once you get into it, it's not that hard to learn how to actually play it or whatever. And actually, you honestly end up spending more time recruiting and doing all the stuff outside of of actually playing the game. And
I'm
you get more intrigued with that stuff.
I'm be like, man, I'm at Pitt. How am I getting beat out for a 4-star that's going to UTSA?
Right? Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna get ready to throw off. Hey, you gotta pay your dues sometimes. Pay your dues, and it's eventually you'll be a savant at the game. So,
right.
Right. But nah, it's a fun game, man. It really tests your brain skills and your stress levels. You really get to kind of see what how it really goes down on a real college campus. It's probably the closest you can probably get to seeing your favorite. How much NLI money? I'm not sure. It depends on what school you end up choosing, for sure.
We gotta go ahead and do this. If you go and plan on using Alabama and Georgia all day long, don't even try it. I'm pretty sure there's some fast quarterback that everybody gonna start flocking to again. God, that's just why I'm gonna stay away because look, you gonna have one of them quarterbacks. You gonna get people still gonna rock with South Carolina because Nick Harper and want them. I'm like, bro, please just give me a good competitor. Don't everybody be a Alabama, a Georgia. No disrespect because your boy Ryan Wingo got like 99 speed. Don't do like a Texas. where all you gonna do is just jet sweeps. I saw people using Boise State just because they were just trying to spam Ashton Genty.
Stop. Yep. Nah, I would fully expect a lot of people. Notre Dame would probably be a pretty big, popular school that a lot of people will use in dynasty mode. You know, Penn State, SMU, I think will be a pretty big school that a lot of people will end up using as well. So it should be fun. What the racist school is?
Well, Alabama should go to then.
I tell her school SMU.
SMU.
That could be a good school. You know, they got a lot of bread there. That in ours, you know, it's definitely going circulating through there. So,
shoot, there's a whole bunch of things. I can go all into it. Florida State, they got shout out. They're gonna have Thomas Castellanos, 5'9" demon at the quarterback position.
Right.
So I mean, it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it'll definitely be a lot of fun. We also did. This is not college football related, but EA just continues to give us news and drop things. SMU and ACC. Yeah, it was just definitely Clark Hunt. It's definitely one of them for sure. Your own owner.
Don't sit over there.
But we did get some other news, and I did want to show this off. This is more NFL related, but Madden 26, the trailer is here. So, watching this earlier today, man, and I can't lie to you, this might be the best Madden trailer I've seen in a long time. It definitely seems like they have fully heard the moans and cries of the Madden fans as well too, and I'm hoping that this trailer is the same gameplay that we get in the game. Do not try to trick me, EA, into thinking that this is how the game is gonna look, and then giving me a different game when it drops. You know, I want everything that you're seeing right now in this trailer. It better be on the game for sure, or else I'm going to be pissed. But I love what I saw from it. The weather, from the rain to the snow, the whiteout of the games or whatever. Hopefully they'll give you an option. I think they one of the biggest features I always wanted was the option of changing the weather, you know, on the game or whatever. That's something that on MLB The Show I love to be able to do, especially in franchise mode or whatever, having the opportunity to do that. But it seems like they've brought emphasis on player intros, more dynamic gameplay as well, more realistic gameplay. I've seen players slipping while it's raining. The whiteouts from the snow and things, and then Travis Hunter hitting backflips and things. I better be able to see all that in the game. So, what's your thoughts and feelings on the new Madden EA trailer?
It definitely looks like they've taken. I mean, we always say it's the little things.
Right.
You got to take care of the little things. That's just how that kind of stuff goes. I'm excited as well. I think there's going to be, I know, right? There's basically a new version every 3 years. I think there's going to be a lot of fun. I think that, of course, having the rookies in there is going to be always fun. I'm putting Josh Simmons, left tackle number 4. He's going to be sitting on the bench for a whole year because I ain't trying
to. The first day of the game.
First day of the game. Yep.
You changing the depth chart already?
Jalen Moore, you're my left tackle for the year. Nah, but I think there's going to be a lot of fun. I think it's going to be the whole real tendency things. I think the last time they really tried to do something like that was 2020 when Mahomes did the no looker. So now people were like, "Oh my God, why is he always no looking?" No, he's actually.
Right.
It's a lot of fun. It's going to be. Hopefully, it's able to. The movement is clean. Everything is clean. They're saying that they're taking it from the real playbook. So we're we gonna scratch it from the bottom. It's gonna be looking different seeing Luther Burden wearing number 87 for the Chicago Bears. Country club trying to me on that, but no, it's gonna be a lot of fun. It's gonna be a lot of fun. They're always, EA is always doing that bundle, talking about some. Hey, you can go ahead and do the suspend receipt.
The pre-order bundle. I think I believe I did that last year. And I don't know if it was worth it. Like, I just think maybe I spent a little bit too much money. I don't think I got my money's worth. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. Suspend Rasheed Rice. Suspending Rasheed Rice now is crazy.
Yeah,
I do have a little bit other news that I do want to bring out about Madden as well too. Hold on, let me pull this up.
It's gonna be fun
since we're here. There's no Royals game tonight, so y'all ain't got nothing else to watch but us. But this also dropped today too. Franchise mode comes alive with enhanced presentation, including halftime shows and weekly recaps with Scott Hansen and all new custom broadcast packages for Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night primetime games. So they have heard the cries of the franchise mode, and I know a lot of people. There was a video I recently seen of them comparing when NFL 2K5 dropped years back and how they used to have halftime reports with Chris Berman on ESPN and things of that nature. I think Madden has fully heard the cries and moans that, and the threats from other gaming people, that they need to up their presentations as far as the games in franchise mode and in the Sunday night, the Monday night, and Thursday night games as well too. Last year they finally brought in 3 different broadcasting crews, which I thought was really nice feature. Although they can get some different people to broadcast, but bringing in Scott Hansen is to me is going to be dope. It gives you a realistic perspective of how things kind of go in the regular NFL season, and puts you right into the game pretty much. You feel like you're really watching NFL Red Zone. So that's what I expect from this to see. I'm excited for it. I'm glad it's not going to be the bland halftime show that you get with what was it, Coach? What was his name from WWE? Like, what are we doing, bro? Like, all I get is scores and updates, and that's it. I want highlights, So it's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm glad that Madden, like I said, is honestly taking into consideration what we actually, the gamers, actually want. And they better deliver on it, man, or otherwise you're again gonna have a lot of pissed off people. But yeah, I think that this game will turn out to be. I don't think that they'll do all those improvements to the college football game, and then not do any improvements to the Madden game as well. One big thing I do want them to do, I would like to be able to take my roster from college football and be able to transfer it to Madden. Used to be able to do that back in the day. I should be able to do that now. It shouldn't be that hard. I want to be able to take the draft class from this year and put it into my franchise mode in Madden and draft real players. I don't want I don't want to have to download somebody else's draft class. I don't want to have to make my own or anything like that.
I remember I'm like last year, I'm like, all right, I want to go ahead and do a little realistic franchise, push your door in there. They got Shador playing like he a superstar. Like no disrespect, I love Shador, but like they gonna sit over there. Oh yeah, this dude top 2, this super savior. All right, come on.
Yeah. What pissed me off was just like previously, like I said, you used to be able to play college football, and then take, that senior class or whatever, or whoever was coming out at that point in time, and transfer them over to the Madden game, and be able to draft them, or. So I would like to be able to do that this time around. I think that's a really cool feature. It's made by the same damn company. I don't understand how that was not in the games last year. So hopefully we get that back as well too. I have heard some cries, as well as people wanting to bring back the all-time teams um, on Madden, which I think should be something that they should obviously bring back. I don't think that's that hard either. But we'll see how that goes. I haven't heard any announcements for that, so I would like for them to do that on college football too. It'd be nice to play with 04, 05 USC, or Bench Young, or be cool to be able to do that as well too. So hopefully we get that from EA soon, rather than later. But if I don't have anything else. Before we get out of here, if you got any news or anything you want to drop before we get up out of here.
I mean, hey man, this is recruiting season. I always do this around this time. You got a lot of kids who start really taking a look at their recruiting. I'm pretty sure we're gonna be seeing a lot of these kids really start to commit and figure out where they're gonna be spending their next 4 years. It's gonna be a lot of fun. For what I've seen, recruits of year 25 class should be moving in or have been moved in this year. So there's gonna be a lot of stuff going on there. It's getting to that point to where you're going to see Hayes Fawcett start using a little bit more. If you're a college football fan and you're a new college football fan and you're trying to figure out who might be coming in, Hayes Fawcett is the number one guy you go to. On 3, of course, they're always going to be sitting over there doing what they got to do. It's a lot of stuff going on right there. It's going to be a lot of fun time. This is about to be a good summer. This where especially, both of our teams, we didn't have our spring game. So this is the only thing that could be an adjacent of it. You're watching, how such and such doing in fall camp. This is going to be a lot of fun. The video game seems like a lot of fun. I can't wait for it to drop because, again, like I said, ladies, please just let it be known. Your man is going to send that text. Once you see him come home late, and he got a disc in his hand, or he got a code in his hand, whatever, please let this be known. You're probably not going to see him for a little bit.
Right.
Or, hey, quick little PSA, buy him the game.
Right.
Look, you don't know how many guys being like, babe, can you just buy me college football?
Right. Yeah, go out, treat him. And Father's Day is coming up soon.
Yeah.
Pre-order college football and Madden as well for your man.
Look, we not asking for 2K no more.
Right, yeah. For sure. Before we get out of here, man, Underdog Fantasy, NBA Finals, MLB is heating up. You got NHL, Stanley Cup is going on now, and all other sports that are going on right now. Head over to Underdog Fantasy, man. Use the promo code KingdomCast to get a deposit match up to $1,000. Underdog Fantasy is the best app, man, to play pick'ems on. So all you got to do is real easy. Pick who you like, and earn some cash, man. Get some rewards on there, man. So use that promo code, man. Sign up today. Let us know if you signed up, man. Underdog is doing a lot of great things. Do you guys do? No.
No.
I have not watched a lick of USFL at all.
I watched. Look, shout out Jordan Teamu. He's a former team. Shout out to him. Shout out to everybody. Go look. We know our good guy D Mac. He been real silent on his Battle Hawks, but but
Yeah.
yeah, it's good to see some of the guys. Good seeing Cornell Powell. He's doing his thing with for.
Yeah, sorry, I seen that. I seen that. I seen that.
He's doing, yeah. Look, I was looking at the little Teyamu to Powell connection.
Mm-hmm.
I got, there's a lot of Mizzou players in there. Larry Roundtree, I believe, is the starting back for DC. So, I mean, DC's looking really good. But no, we do not really watch USFL like that. I'm only watching if it's the only thing on TV.
Yeah, shout out to those guys over there. I commend them for all trying to fight and get back to the NFL, but I can't do it. I don't know what it is. I think it's the uniforms for me or something like that. It just looks so generic to me. But I'm appreciative that those guys are getting the opportunity to play pro ball at some type of level. Hopefully that helps some of them get back, their careers in the NFL. I know the NFL has kind of been using it as a little bit of a prototype for basically having a minor league to this point, or sending guys to develop a developmental league as well. So hopefully it continues to grow and prosper. But yeah, I can't do it at all. But yeah, man.
Look, I'd rather talk about the 28 flag football.
Yeah, we'll get into some of that too coming up on some of our other shows or whatever. But man, we appreciate everybody for pulling up tonight, watching us, man. Redshirt Podcast, episode 2. We will be back. I believe we'll be back next month. We'll be back.
We might be back sooner than that because I'm like things might start kicking up because
we'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see how things kick up. But when the full season, as we get closer to August and things of that nature, we'll be on here predominantly every week until the college football playoffs and things like that ramp up and doing extra coverage and stuff like that on here. So if any news or anything breaks or drops, of course you'll see us back on here as well. So, but we appreciate y'all, man, for pulling up and watching us. Follow Kingdom Cast on Twitter. Tell the Truth as well as on Tuesdays. Kingdom Cast, the regular Kingdom Cast should be on maybe tomorrow, I believe.
It should be tomorrow. We should be tomorrow.
They might try to watch the finals. As Country stated that he's going to try to get into basketball this time around.
I could do it. I could be like, oh, boom, and then we on the finals right here. It's all good here.
Right. Yeah, man. Follow us on all our social media accounts. Chiefs training camp and OTAs is heating up. We'll be back in full force for that. So, yeah, man. It's exciting times. Summer is about to be in full go. And we're getting closer to football. I think it's 90. I know it's 93 days, 92 days from the NFL season. I believe it's down to 80 something days for the college football season.
Yeah,
we're getting close. Football is almost back, y'all. Football is almost back. We're almost there. Just got to get through this last little portion of summer, and then football will be right around the corner. So, again, appreciate you guys. Love you guys. And for Redshirt, for myself, for Trey, we are out. Be safe. Love, prosperity, and peace.
For sure.